Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for coming to the meeting. Start off with just introductions of who's here. We have John, John Kinders, our guest, assistant dam keeper, Walter, Gory, Len's here representing the EMT now. We appreciate that. Catherine's here, Howard's here, and Mark is here in public. Online, we have Bob Douglas, Eric Stocker, and Art. So we're officially opening the meeting at about 9:03. I'll review the agenda, which is, first, can everybody hear me? Okay. Things are a little different here. The AV equipment is a little bit different now. And the room setup is a little bit different. So yeah, if you can't hear anybody talking, speak up. And we'll, there's the owl, which the microphone is kind of far away from everybody, and this is the way we're set up. All right, so as far as I'll review the agenda, then we'll open up for public comment. We're going to review the minutes from the May and July meeting. We'll have a discussion about the committee membership and look at the makeup of the committee. Hopefully we'll have an update on the invasive plants that were identified in the lake, which was the milfoil. I'll give everybody an update on the current dam activities, which are all very positive. Discussion about Randall Road maintenance, an update on the Beaver Dam activities on Lakeview Road, and then anything we did reasonably anticipate. Is there any, does that seem reasonable to everybody?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so the first we'll do is public comments. Is there any?
There is.
Okay. I'll turn the floor over to John.
All right, I think as everybody knows, there's a marker down at the Lakeview culvert that Howie uses to keep track of the lake limit that we installed a few years ago. It had become non-functional due to last winter, I guess, upheaved it, moved it around. So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge, to say thank you to Mark Rivers and to Walter Tibbetts for their considerable effort in getting the craft down there, first of all, and Walter wielding the sledgehammer, and we repositioned it and made it functional again. So I thought it should be acknowledged, and we should say thank you to people who may not know what was on behind the scenes. So just a thank you for that.
You're welcome. And for those of you who have never been in the cove, the weeds are unbelievably bad. I mean, the only way to get through that cove now, or to get up near the culvert, is with oars.
Yeah.
And use them as poles.
Yeah, it was Huck Finn style.
The motors were useless. Both the trolling motor and the regular motor was virtually useless. As a matter of fact, having the motors on in some cases made it harder until we realized the motors were down and you're just hooking on the weeds. So it's it was an interesting little project. I learned a lot about going up in the cove.
Now you know what it was like years ago.
Was it?
Yes. That whole area was.
Good. All right, thanks, John. All right, any other public comments? Let's take a minute and review the minutes of the May meeting. I sent them out to everybody that I sent, and was there any notes, any corrections? That's the August one. I didn't bother to reprint out the May one, because I kind of printed out all. I didn't really change that much. I just reformatted it and added Tom's comments, incorporated his comments, and so the essence of the minutes was the same. And I have a few copies of the July minutes here.
Do we need to revote the May meeting?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that we approve the May minutes as rewritten.
Second.
Okay. So. So I have a motion to, second to approve the May minutes. And so if everyone's ready, we'll do a vote on it. Howard,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
what, you can still vote.
I can't go on.
Okay, you can abstain too. All right, John? Wallace? Marcus, yes. Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Yes.
and Art.
Yes,
Okay, May minutes are approved as edited and distributed last week. Now we go to the July minutes. I have a couple of copies here. And so the big change there was I incorporated Tom's comments and in his actual spreadsheet or his actual Word document, I added as parts of the minutes now, so. So you don't have to really look at those if you want to, just look at the essence of these minutes. And again, I sent those out, I think, on Tuesday. Look, if everyone's ready, we have a motion to, if there is, we have a motion to accept
So moved.
and second.
I'll second.
Any comments? Or discussions about the July minutes? Okay, so let's have a vote to approve. Howard,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Len,
Stay.
Stain, John, Walter,
I'm gonna say because I was not at the meeting,
it's
so
okay. Mark is yes. Bob,
Yeah, I'll also abstain.
okay. And Eric,
Abstain. Just wasn't there. I don't think.
and Art.
I don't think I was there either. Abstain.
All right, so I don't think we have enough people. Can we? Do we have a quorum in the room?
all right, yeah, the quorum, the majority that were there voted to accept it, so
We're good, everyone thinks we're good to go? We're good to go, okay, I'm trying to be
it
very.
doesn't have to be a majority of the people voting, it has to be, I believe, it's just as long as you've got a quorum of meeting, the people that are voting.
All right, so we have no one is against it, so the motion passes. And we're all set for that, and so I'll send those off to, I would have sent them off to Grace, to the website, there must be someone doing Grace's job.
There is somebody doing interim on daily.
There is somebody doing interim, but I think that Brennan, the administrative assistant, is putting things online.
Okay. All right, I'll send it to both him and,
You can send it to the town clerks.
Tom Clark.
Maybe somebody.
Okay,
Yeah,
All right.
I would agree. I would agree. We should give them to him.
okay, good. All right. Committee membership. One change we have, is Dave Green has resigned from the committee. He says his job title, his job functions have changed, hopefully that means promotion. But now he has to work most Saturdays, and so he can't attend the meeting, so he's resigning from the committee. So we need to get a replacement for him. I did get an email, yesterday or day before from Mary David, who is interested in Joe getting back on the committee. And that's the only person so far that I have that's sort of in the works.
Mary David's not still on contract. She's.
No. As a matter of fact, the email came from someone like Mary, and I didn't like, who's Mary? But I kind of forgot, because I had to do some search my old emails to find out who that is. So I think what we should probably do is I'll put in the minutes of the meeting that we have, Mary's volunteered, we get on the committee, and we'll see if there's any other volunteers between now and our next meeting. And if there is, we'll, as a committee, vote for, the person to fill David's spot. So at least we have somebody, which is positive. I was kind of hoping that, we would get someone a little bit younger than the average here. But that's okay. Okay. All right.
Bulls are moving.
Okay, any comments or any other suggestions for replacements for Dave?
Who was he representing? Was he just
He was,
large?
he was technically, he was representing, he originally was representing the association. He was, one of the 5 people that are members of the association. Or, interested Lake resident, basically. I'm not sure if he's still, on the Lake Wyola Association. But it's, as long as we stay under 5 right now, I think we're okay. All right. And so if anyone has anybody knows of anybody else who wants to be considered, you'll send me a note, we'll put it on the agenda for our next meeting. Okay, good. Now, at our last meeting, or last couple meetings. Tom was like concerned about the committee membership, the definition of the membership. And so he wanted to make some changes to it. And so I put together this. I was originally said we were take the original ones, go back to the select board and see if they agree. But my thoughts are is to really minimize it and get rid of semicolons and any word that is, one could be confused by it. So I came up with this, which is essentially the same as membership that we have. But first, can everyone see this? And is it large enough to read?
Just barely.
We can make it bigger. We can do better.
Could you share a screen, Mark?
Okay, good. I didn't realize I had to do that. Thank you very much, Bob. All right, so we're gonna go to Zoom. And we're going to share this.
That's great. Thank you.
That's good. Thanks.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so the proposed committee membership definition that I came up with, which is essentially identical to us, except very goal oriented, is that the membership of the committee should include one member from each of the following, which is the select board, Concom, Board of Health, Planning Board, the emergency management director, the dam keeper, and then a minimum of 3 members, a maximum of 5 members of the Lake Wyola Association.
This is good in essence, but when you said one each member from that works for the first 4, but
Yeah.
not for the last 3 for emergency. I mean, there's only one emergency management director, but my one dam keeper, and so on. So that if you have one each from those boards, or here's how to do it. Membership of the committee would include, because you've got one member from each of these things, so just have a colon after include, it's gonna be fine.
Okay, I like that. And so I'll put there, I don't think we need a bullet there. How does that look to everybody?
That means if those 6, you don't count in the Lake Wyola Association.
No, there's still, that's still an issue, but yeah, I don't really see it. Tom thought that was a big issue. I don't think it is, and the reasons why is if they were to have a discussion of something that you're conflicted with, as both dam keeper and member of the Lake Wyola Association, you can just recuse yourself from the discussion, like Concom does when there's when one of the members is in a butter. They don't have to get off the committee. They just say, I'm a butter, and therefore I'm not gonna vote for this, I'm not gonna have him participate in the discussion. So I think there's a clean way of handling that situation where there's a dual role.
The only question I'd ask is there, what if someone's a member of the Lake Wyola Association and a select board member, for example? Do they count as the three, you know what I mean? Are we saying there's 3 additional members and a maximum of 5 additional members? Or are we including members that could have two roles?
So my thought is that we're not including members that have 2 roles here, so if you were also a member of the select board, and a member of the Lake Wyola Association, you're representing the select board and not representing the association.
Got it.
And if there's a conflict, and if we have a discussion that is conflicting with your role as the select board and your role as an LWAS member, or no, as an association member, you would just recuse yourself.
Right.
Just like, you would do for any committee.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Bob, you have your hands up?
You're muted.
I think you're muted, Bob.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess my thoughts are along the same line, is that with many or several members of the 6 people that are required to be on the board being Lake Wyola Association members, as well as possibly another 5 Lake Wyola Association members on the board. I'm not sure you're getting that full representation of the town's interest, which is to say, people that necessarily are not within the Lake Wyola sphere. So that would be my only comment. I think it does make it kind of heavy on association members, and may essentially just kind of be an arm of the LWA. So I'm just voicing my concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that certainly goes back to the original stipulation about the number of associations. In either case, we just don't have clarity. I mean, the question is still in this, formulation, the question is still open. Are those 3 to 5 members on do they include the other members, or do they not? I mean, we need to make that explicit one way or another.
Okay. Let me try to redraft this, and we'll bring it up at the next meeting.
The other thing I could think of, and it's specific to my position on this board,
Yeah,
is originally I was on as emergency management director. When I stepped down from all that, you talked to the select board to have me on as I forget what you call it, because of my historical knowledge and all that.
of the dam, yeah.
Right, where this does not address any of that, so,
Now,
it's your choice. I can still come to meetings as a visitor if you want, just not a voting member.
the original scope of the meeting, the original thing, definition back in 91, there was also a line that said, and other people who have specific technical knowledge.
Okay,
And we could certainly put that back in there, because there is, you have a value when it comes to the dam of your knowledge of the operations of the dam, the trash rack and all that stuff. So I will put both those things back, and I will be very explicit about, if in a case where a board, where a member of the first group is also of LWA. I'll think of some word, I can't think of the top of my head.
What is the sense of the meeting? I'm not sure where we are. Do we want to count board memberships among those 6 or not? That's part of the total LWA membership.
I'll let you guys discuss that item. I mean, I can't think of any discussion we have ever had where the dam keeper's interest was in conflict with the association's interest. and where he would have to recuse himself. We were all kind of on the same page here. You know, I think this group represents the town at large. And, you know, this group down here, the 3 or 5 members, represents people who are both, who are particularly interested in the lake, either environmentally, either fiscally, because of the value of their properties, the house, they live nearby, you know, in safety, I think, yeah. You know,
The thing is, if you include them, you can seriously, you know, reduce the number of people that are on the committee, because if you look at it right now, essentially, Conservation Commission,
it's 11.
places is at the lake, Board of Health was at the lake, planning board member lives at the lake, dam people lives at the lake, so you've got 4 positions already now.
Yeah,
And then if you want a representative, like the president of the association, now you're maxed out. So you can't have any other members, and that can change and each of those representatives were picked by the board that they represent. So it's not like, unless they're really saying, I gotta be on this board because I wanna have say. You could reduce the amount of people that have, you know, say an interest in, and that could be on the committee. If you include all those positions, if they have to be a LWAC member, or even if they're not a member but live at the lake, people still look at that as the same, so. It's just a slippery slope, that's why careful wording or approval or changing something in there might make it more clear.
would anyone be interested in giving this a little shot? All right, how about this? I'll give it another shot, and then I'll distribute to everybody, and, you know.
But if you clearly state that if the board, if a representative of these boards, having been chosen by that board, is also an Lake Wyola Association member, that their primary representation is of that board.
We could actually do that with a single word, additionally, a
Yeah.
minimum of 3 members.
Yeah. That's true. In addition to this member stated above, additionally, 3 to 5.
And it might be good well, and you can add the other thing about special technical expertise.
Okay.
Or whatever, but also it might be good to say that it's not necessarily one member from each of those boards, but one member designated by each of those boards. So for example, if Mary wanted to get back on the committee, Conservation Commission might designate her as their representative. She has the experience, and they don't have, as far as I know, they don't have somebody else to them.
Yeah, we actually, Bob Douglas is, Bob,
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Oh, my apologies. But, you know, and, you know, Howard could designate John if he needed to, designate somebody from the emergency team or whatever. We can keep it a little bit flexible.
okay. All right, I'll redraft this, we incorporate these comments, and I'll get it out to everybody, and we'll take another look at it on the next meeting. That's okay with everybody?
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you. All right. So that, any other comments or questions on committee membership? Good, let's go on to important stuff. No, not that this is important, but let's go on.
9:30, right?
And, so the next thing, we just save this. And minimize that. And go back here. And I gotta end sharing, I guess. If I can find out where,
You can just at the top, the red button, stop share.
perfect, thank you. All right, I'll figure this stuff out one of these days, and I appreciate everyone's help. All right, so next item 6 on the agenda is a discussion of or an update on the invasive plants, which I think is milfoil as found in the lake. Does anybody have Catherine, were you able to get any information, or Art?
Very, very little. I asked the Simpsons, where it was found. It was found by somebody in Donna McCullum. I don't know who that is, but apparently along the east side, probably near you, right? Okay. Oh, right, it's the house that's being Jane built there, and apparently it was near her property. And there was also some concern about it being down by the boat launch, but it wasn't clear that they found it there. So DCR is meant to be coming up, studying the situation, but
You don't think they're coming out?
I don't think they've come yet.
Will we have an idea of the contact at DCR that we could, you know, or, you know, I mean, how did DCR get involved, I guess is the question. Did the Timpsons call DCR up or?
I believe so.
Okay,
It needs to be reported then.
okay. I'm not exactly sure what to do at this point.
I think we just have to wait for DCR to evaluate.
Okay. Maybe if I can, or do you have the Timpson's email address? Or maybe I can send them a note saying,
Like right this minute?
I don't know, later
Okay,
on.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. And then just see if they know if they're in the loop. Because this milfoil it can be a very nasty plant. If it's allowed to spread. So, it really could change the entire nature of the lake. Any other questions about the milfoil update or invasive plant update?
Bob's going.
Bob's got a question, yep.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Yeah, you know, I work with four different lakes, in two different towns, and Lake Wyola has been an awesome anomaly in that it hasn't had a tremendous infestation of milfoil or a dozen other different invasive plants. It's been great. I don't know it's kept it isolated this long, but it's wonderful. So. Just based on the experience with the other ponds I've worked on, Bear Hill Pond, Haggett's Pond, uh, Foster's Pond, that hitting the invasives really hard, really fast is important. So if um uh if there is just minor patches here and there, acting quickly can often be good. And I have no connection with this company at all. Solitude is their name, but they do control in reservoirs and other places like that. It might be worth having them come out and take a look to assess the problem. And you know, they're a business; they'll give you a figure for um, uh, controlling it. But it might be worthwhile within the next year to have them come out and do an assessment.
Bob, do you have a feeling how fast this spreads? Is this something that has to be jumped on this fall? Or is it something that's, you know, it's a kind of a springtime project or a next year project?
Yeah, I think probably starting the conversation now is important because it would give us an assessment and possibly budgeting and you know and maybe a town community CIP type request or something along those lines. But I think probably getting started in that making the contacts and so on probably would be beneficial to take place over the fall and the winter. We won't see the spread of the plant during that time period, but just paperwork and bureaucracy, this might be a good time to get a jump on that.
Okay, thank you. All right, that makes sense. Any other comments or questions? All right, so I'll try to contact the Timpsons and see if they have a contact at DCR. I do have contacts at Solitude. They'd send me emails once a month about, you know, managing lakes and, you know, we've never really needed them. You know, maybe it is time, and your comment about budgeting is very appropriate. Get estimates from them if they're the ones who are gonna do it, as opposed to someone in town. You know, if they can, what they would charge to eradicate the milk or control it. So I think these are all great suggestions. Anything else? Okay. Next item on the agenda is update on dam activities and, right now we have a really good company called GZA who's taking over really all the responsibilities for the dam. And they're working really, closely with the town administrator. She's up to speed, they're up to speed. So right now, where I think stands, we got the funding to do the scope of work from the state and from CPA funds to define what needs to be done to repair the dam. So they're gonna start working on that, change order that uses those funds. Instead of working with the town administrator to get that scope completed and to get, quotes out. Or to get bids to do the actual repair work next year. The intention is that the scope of work will be done in the next couple of months, and then they'll go off for bids for the actual repair work. And really, I'm kind of out of the loop a little bit these days. I'm still in the loop, but not as much as I used to be. As I'm pushing the town administrator to kind of take over my role. So if everything goes well, we'll get the bids and we'll get someone locked down to do the work in early 2006. And in fall, doing the actual work. Pending funding, we'll still need, a couple $100,000 to do this work. Somewhere between 150 and 300 grand, and we'll know when we get the bids. So we'll have to apply for more CPA funding from the town or for the town budget, and another grant from the Office of Dam Safety, I think it is. But the GZA people felt strongly that because they gave us the money, the 40 grand to do this, to do the scope, they're more inclined to give us the actual money to actually do the repairs. So that's, so repair work is going on, it's moving for the first time in a while.
Good to hear.
Any questions on the reactor repairs of the dam? Or comments? Okay, GCA's this fall is also supposed to start working with the town administrator to work on the permitting process for 2027 lowering. And we lower the lake in the winter time to protect the dam. The last time we did that, we got the notice of intent and the orders of conditions. I did all the work, but it's gotten much more complicated and certainly beyond my skills. And so the answer is you pay the pros to do it. They know the right buzzwords. They actually applied for the state funding. I did the CPA funding. They did the state funding, and so it all worked out well. And I'm fairly confident or optimistic that we'll get things will continue. And in 2027, when we need the permits to lower the lake again, we'll be able to get it. But it's a much slower process now. Comments or thoughts on lowering the lakes? Okay. As John noted, it was I think it was the 7th of the month we fixed the staff for the water level gauge, so that's working now. Hopefully it'll stay that way. And also that same day, Walter, John, and Howard cleaned the trash out, and we have a little video of this that Walter made. So I'm gonna bring it up to show you.
It's, like I said, it's really long, but the first part does definitely show you how bad the gate gets. And then if you want after, you can skip to the end and see what it actually looks like cleaned out.
All right, so I gotta go share my screen again. And I'm gonna go to media player. And share. Right, and I'm gonna hit play, and we'll see if this all works. Can everyone see the video? Well,
Yeah.
So he's diving down. And
So what you're looking at is the trash rack, debris that's on there, including a 5 gallon. And those sticks that's built up probably about 8 inches thick off the gate.
Oh, when was the last time it was? That's basically,
Yeah, but it's different time, this time of the year, it builds up. Because it depends on how much water is being drawn through there. Combination of, you could say, movers, sticks this time. A few. Several growing handfuls of sticks and all that, then what we do is, once we get it cleaned up enough, like here. How he opens the gate about 4 inches. And we're able to just cut out.
the old trash.
There was never an incident with the old trash rack. This has only been since they put. Originally, it was made with just 2 steel bars going across, and they used rebar. In an attempt to make it a little. What I did is I sleeved all those, bars, the rough bars. Hoping it would make it less sticky, but the problem is the spacing is still. There's only about 2 fingers width between the bars, so they're very close. Even just these catch on stuff that doesn't have that much. Then one of these will be cleaned off, and you can see that the
okay,
Oh, I'm gonna be coming back down anyways. You skip it a little bit more. So there's, if you look at it, the rack is mostly cleaned off now. Big difference. And really, when it's that much, how you can open the gate full, and you're getting less water out through the sluice way as you do with a clean. So there's one of the bars right there. Even now, it's so rusted and that.
So one of the projects that's what. Is to. So that we should.
100 and some odd years, a couple 100 years, it never had to be cleaned, and only since. Usually in the fall, I usually end up cleaning it. These start now, it floats right up. We've done it where. Clean it like this and stay down and just kind of stir the area and. Yeah, while it's still down.
You're right. 2x3. They were good distance. Not straight up and down. They weren't high enough. Now this one just goes bar to bar.
Out from down.
Yeah.
I started doing that, you gotta. Right in air sawzall. Right around pressure outside. It was gone. I cut through the bottom of that one bar there. Other ways to take the whole back off. It's held in by 2 bolts, but I'm not sure if you would take those bolts off, just don't break off. Yeah. And then you wouldn't, be a lot harder to put it back together.
One of the insurance.
I don't know. One concern would be any oil getting in there.
Do you think that this could be replaced while it's still underwater? Oh, yeah,
It's possible. Over the lake. Having it mapped out the. Or give me specifics.
Why couldn't that? Yeah, you attach it at the top, but why couldn't the bottom be?
Yeah.
The pipe even go further, so
You
you
could.
stick it in the sand and,
That's wood right there.
yeah.
So as part of the rebuild project, this is something that's got to be taken care of,
Yes.
and maybe that's,
100 years ago to figure out how to do it. I think we should be able to. That. Out this.
It must have been out in front of that, not
Yeah.
behind it,
Yep.
so that was.
Facing was probably.
Water was drawn down, so the old one and the new.
We could probably.
pause this, and we'll stop sharing. Any questions or comments from anybody?
I was wondering what that big body, so, right,
There was 2 of those. There was some kind of egg sacs.
no.
I've never seen them there before. There's never been anything built up like that on them. Unfortunately, one of them got sucked down through when I was cleaning up the other one. I tried not to disturb it as much as possible, not knowing what it was. It didn't look like there was any eggs or anything. It just looked like it might have been just the remnants or something. I do not, I don't know for sure.
Bob has a question?
Yeah, more of a comment. I thought it was awesome to actually have hands-on videotape of the rack itself and the clearing efforts. So thanks very much, Walter. That was awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I figured it would be good because you can describe it, but until somebody actually sees how much stuff builds up on there.
I've never
And
seen
if
that.
we've got to do it, I've been doing it on the average of 2 to 3 times a year. We shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So.
So is that on the, sort of on the agenda for TCA?
Yeah, definitely, that's one of the things.
And in addition to that, afterwards, we're having a little bit of trouble with the gate itself. Some of it is lubrication, but still it didn't seem to be closing right and all that. So I actually crawled up the sluice way from down below up to the gate. And there was an actual piece of firewood that had gone through and wedged in the opening around the pipe where all the grout is missing.
Okay.
And it got jammed in there and up against the gate. So as you move the gate, it was pushing against that piece of wood, which made it a little bit harder. Was able to get that out, but there was also some note that GZA might be interested in is the amount of flow of water that comes. There's something that's going around through the dam or around the gate and it comes back out from the side of the pipe and then back down the pipe. That amount of water has increased significantly from 6 years ago when I last crawled up there. I'd say it's probably increased about 8 to 10 times.
Okay, well, okay, so,
And I don't know if that would stop if they actually sealed it, because it would have really no place to go to flow that fast.
yeah,
Or not, but it definitely was a concern.
okay. I'm gonna send GZA a note, you know, the dam engineers and so, and, once this gets on the website. You know, I think, yeah, they'll say, you know, go to this particular part of the video and then look.
Right, and they can see what the gate actually is and how much plugs up and.
Yeah. Perfect, thank you very much, it was awesome.
That's good.
Mark, can you share that video?
I can try, I guess I'll copy it off here off my computer, may have to trim it down a little bit.
Yeah, there's parts in there that
Or-
aren't really relevant.
Yeah, or even if you take just one shot of that mystery object, I've got a marine biologist or a stream biologist family thing.
Oh, okay, excellent, yeah.
If not, I can, yeah.
Um, so we'll take care of that. I'll figure out the technology and we're sharing the video. Hopefully it just shows up on Zoom, on the recorded Zoom meeting.
Yeah, shoot.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. We'll get, we'll get it out to everybody. And also to the town administrator, so she can see, okay, this is real. But, and when my first go around with her, I had to explain what the trash rack was. And, it was just getting up to speed and learning all this stuff. All right. Hey, check my notes here. Any other questions about the dam? We got about 10 more minutes here, but I think we'll get through everything. Next item is on the discussion about the Randall Road maintenance or the boat ramp maintenance. It's kind of, at this point, I think it's, you know, a Concom issue. There's, one of the issues is here's the problem. The boat ramp is gradually getting skinnier and skinnier because of the brush on the shoreline. The other problem is that there is a drop off in the, when you put your boat in, or actually put your boat in, it's not a big deal. This is when people are trying to pull their boats out, the wheels hit a drop off and it's getting harder and harder to get your boat out now. And so I guess the question, and I don't think Concom's had a chance to discuss it yet, but is, the one is, they're the authority over it. They effectively own the boat ramp in that area, or are in control of it. And so that, is it a requirement to keep the boat ramp open and safe? There's one question. I know if you look at if you go down there and look at the brush inside, which is relatively easy to deal with, there's a historical sign there that's effectively covered up by the brush. Well, it's not a big deal to push that stuff out or to trim that stuff back. It's really just minor trimming to keep the boat ramp wide. The bigger issue is the drop off, and at some point, it's possible someone's going to not be able to get their boat out, or someone's going to be damaged to their trailer. Yeah, any comments, Bob? Can you add any comments? You actually have your hand raised. Yeah, I think you're still muted.
I apologize. Did you call me, Mark?
Yep.
Okay, yes. So I can give a report from the Concom on two of those issues. The overgrown vegetation. It's pretty clear what has been there in the past. There's fairly thick trees that kind of line that pathway. Anything new that has grown off of those trees, branches, etc., or any of the foot tall plants that have grown to the ramp side of those can all be cut and don't need a permit from the Conservation Commission. So that was a vote came up at our last meeting. That doesn't need a permit. To everything to the boat ramp side of the established trees that have been there for a long time, that can be cut back, which will certainly increase the view and having back boats down boat ramps, you really want every little bit of vision so you get it right. So that's not a problem. Repair of the boat ramp is it is literally in the water. It's a land underwater body. It's a couple different resources under state, local, and federal law. So that would need a permit. Doesn't mean it has to be a complicated permit. And Beth from who's the conservation chair, said that she would assist in putting the permit together for that. I think probably what would be helpful from the association and from LWAC to find out exactly what they would like to see, and then that could be built into that permit.
That sounds good. I was thinking of, when we lower the lake, which will be in another month or so, Steve, we should go out and actually, put some waders on and walk in the cold water and take a closer look at what's going on.
We've kinda already started going,
Yeah, like it's already down about a foot already.
it's down 7 inches.
So, does anybody want us to give an effort to start working on the permit? And I guess I'm not sure what needs. I guess I'm not sure what needs to be done. Maybe one thing I could do is I can grab Terry Smith and bring him down there when the lake is lowered and say, what's the cheapest, easiest, reliable way of doing this? Terry does that for a living. He rebuilds boat ramps for I think DCR. And so, and he does, puts the, cement ramps down, things like that. I'm not sure if we want to do that. Or what's, what are the options, but I can certainly ask him to get his opinion on what's the easiest thing we can do to make it safe, make the ramp safe and usable. Or just big trap rock or something,
I think you'll find where that hole is on the backside of that hole is gonna be a mound over there. Now, usually when people loading their boats, it just disturbs it all. And historically, that's, I remember years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but I don't want to keep any trouble. I think when it was lowered, one time they had the highway department go down with the backhoe and just grab that pile of dirt, kind of level it all out. But that was, like I said, that was probably 30 years ago that happened, so, or more.
It only has to be done every 30 years.
Well, it's been bad for a long time.
Yeah.
It's the big ones that they have.
Problem, so high the focus somehow.
So even when they're over, it's so hard getting them on the trailer. You can't just hook it and drag it up.
Okay, so. Let's see, I'll see if I can get some pictures of the lake below, see if we can see it. Or maybe, get a yardstick and do some measurements and I'll check with Terry and see what his recommendations are.
So Roger said that some of that brush can be cleared. Who's gonna do that?
Any volunteers? Maybe I can go down there, with some clippers and cut away some of the smaller trees and. Yeah, we could go ahead.
Yeah, I think we can get enough people to volunteer to help. I don't think anybody's gonna do it by themselves.
Okay, what's the best day of the week for people? A weekend kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe weekends, fortunately.
All right, I'll send a note out to the group and to the association and see if we can get a little work party and to clean it up. And just to be brushing the woods for the animals and for cover for the squirrels, and so nothing's gotta be moved out. All right, does that make sense to everybody? Any other comments?
Now, what?
Okay. Next pictures. So we're on item 9, which is the beaver dam management at the Lakeview Culvert. So I'm going to share my screen again.
You got all my pictures?
I don't have all of them. I just grabbed two.
I got 5.
No, maybe that's this right here. Nope, that's the. All right, let's get rid of that one. I think I know what I have to do here. Bear with me. And this one here. All right, am I still sharing the screen? Can you guys see this?
Really, that's over under the road.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so let me see if I can get this going here.
Oh,
That's
it's all
good.
further.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to this. Just. I'm looking for ideas here. You see Bob?
Can we not talk?
Did expand that.
Okay, so open it up. I'm gonna start starting right now. You're late.
I think
Oh,
we
not
were
late.
having,
He hasn't started the meeting yet. It says right there.
I think we're having two meetings going simultaneously here. So let's just cover it. Let me see if I can, share screen again. Yep. Share this guy, okay. All right, so we're gonna do this relatively quickly. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
All right, so what we're looking at here is the culvert under Lakeview Drive. So a beaver dam has been formed, and you can see there's a big difference in the water levels here. And, you know, in my mind, culverts aren't designed to be dams. And and I'm speculating here, but if that gets bigger, higher, we're reducing the size of the culvert here, of the amount of water that can come through there. And so if we have a big rainstorm, I could easily see how this could get clogged up and the water's gonna basically go over the road at that point, wash out the road.
So we're looking through the culvert from the lake.
Yes.
From the
Yeah.
lakeside.
That's bad news.
A few years ago, there was one that they had built, but they built it there.
Right in the
One
middle.
time they built it in the middle of the culvert. I had removed it once, Howie and I went down there and removed it by hand. Then there was another one built up, and it was about the time that we did the annual lake lowering and the level changed. I mean,
Yeah.
Howie drove by one day, looking at the lake, looked at the other side, and it's back up normal height or higher. But there was some storm that happened during that, and at one point, the whole dam let go at one point. Nobody saw it happen or whatever that I know of, but all that debris is now in the cove just below the dam, and that had actually taken out the gauge at one point and ripped it right out of the,
Yeah.
out of the ground and bent it way over, and that pile of debris is still there. It's just never removed. So not only is it putting potential danger to the culvert itself, but danger if anybody's going, let's go, and just putting more debris into the cove that don't need more debris.
Yeah.
Plus also this winter, all that's gonna freeze on the other side, which it normally does not. And it's gonna be pushing against the wing walls, which are not that good already.
How, that gets removed, how quickly does the beavers fill it back up again?
Well, you have to check it once you take it out. You know, it's walk away like, it's been taken out
Yeah, I
by
know.
somebody this summer.
Yep.
There's a pile of bushes and then they walked away and gave them time and built a better one.
So like 3-4 months, you have that again.
Oh, yeah, before that, because they're pretty fast when they get going.
Didn't you?
Before, when I was a little more agile, when they took it out, then I would check it at least, well, at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I had a hook that any of the brush that was in there, I pull it out. And after a while, it discourages them.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, this isn't working, we'll go some other places and go." But if you don't do anything, then this is what's gonna happen, it's just gonna come back.
Is there anywhere we can make that happen?
Make what?
Somebody going to the book and pulling it out? I mean, who would that be? Obviously, it's not, you're done with that.
Just-
I know
if you look at-
what-
If you look at it as it's a maintenance of culverts that go under roads,
Yeah,
that has always in the past fallen, highway department.
well,
The current highway department is being resistant to that.
Yes.
but.
If the road washes out. I think it then, it's pretty clear the highway department's gonna get involved. I think you're gonna get involved one way or another,
All right, but we'd like, for instance, like, not get there.
and I completely agree, especially if anyone travels on like you drive every day.
How did it go from them to nobody? Taking care of it, that's what I don't, like, I've been doing this for 43 years. And for 42 years, I had absolutely no problem. Now, all of a sudden, nobody takes care of it. But,
So I don't have an answer for that.
and who does the highway department work for anyhow? Anybody know?
It must be a select.
I know I work for the select board.
Right. Thank you, for sure. They
Well,
hire,
then
right?
I would think that would solve the problem.
So, we can advise all we want, but this, I guess the question is, who can encourage, get the highway department or somebody to fix this? I think we hired a company called Beaver Solutions, but they took the band dam out, but they didn't take the wood out. And it got rebuilt back up right away.
Well, they don't, that's another thing, people think that they use the same one, they don't,
Well, they don't,
they didn't touch that pile. They
I
don't.
have a picture.
Evidently, when you take it out, they say that didn't, to me, that didn't work, we'll have to try some new stuff or something. But the pile is sitting there right on the side,
I'm afraid to hit.
of
the-
which the water level.
Well, you can stop share.
Well,
All right, and I can minimize this, and I can take out this. And,
looks like that.
yeah, I have a picture of that, again, I'm just having a hard time, oh, here it is, okay, so now I'm gonna go back,
And that was not in the water.
okay, so now I'm gonna go back to something here.
Now, when highway did that in the past, would they use the backhoe or?
Yeah. So there's usually the backhoe, sometimes they go in with waders to get some of it, because you can't get it all.
Yeah.
So it depends on where it is. If it's right at the edge, it's a lot easier. When it was in the middle of the culvert,
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't see it till.
yeah,
There
I'm
was,
just surprised.
and in that one, we had to go down manually,
Yeah.
and grab it stick by stick and pull it out.
You know, I'm just surprised you can get the back, I just remember it being pretty steep on the
Oh, no,
side.
they just reached over from the
All
road.
right, yeah.
Can everyone see the pictures? This is the picture, which is a pile of wood, that's,
And this is on the other side of
That's the upstream
the,
side.
the upstream side.
I know other times when we've had permits from Concom to reach the dam, it's been specified that they can't do that, can't be below it. So, I don't know. If it's-
Did they also tell highway they can't use equipment anymore for beaver dams?
They can't use what?
The equipment, touch the beaver dam, they had to go manually. Remember, because that,
Well,
the beaver dam on Montague Road, Tim opened up, took a bucket through, and then a few people got upset that the stream obviously got a lot bigger.
I think that was something to do with who was in charge at that time.
You know, because then it was, that's when I heard highway was told you can't,
Cause they've done it all the way in the past and they, I think
Yeah.
they still do,
okay, yeah.
but at that time. In fact, that's the same with all the information in the newspaper. Without checking with anybody.
Yeah. So I could see the reluctance of highway not wanting to do it, they can't use a backhoe.
Well, that wasn't the reason, but they didn't wanna do it. We want his people to get high concern with it.
Okay, Bob, has his hand raised here?
Yeah,
How the fly fishing and standing and all.
yeah, well, if we can do it with a backhoe in 5 minutes versus all day on sticks, I can see the frustration.
Bob?
Yeah, but I just wanted to add that, you know, and I don't know all of Shutesbury's rules, but backhoes are frequently used to take out beaver dams. They should be done, you know, in a gradual form. You know, a scoop and then a scoop a little while later. Not take the whole thing out in one giant rush, which as you somebody correctly said would bring a slug of sediment into the pond. Um, but there's no prohibition on any methods for taking out beaver dams with mechanical means that I'm aware of on a state level. The uh, I, it should be noted that the public health, under weird Massachusetts rules, is in charge of issuing beaver dam removal permits, and that, you know, so whenever anybody goes out or is planning to go out, they have a fairly quick process called an emergency cert, which can be signed off by uh, the a representative of the public health, and the state fines are considerable if you do miss that step. So it's best to just check in with public health before you do touch a dam.
Right, well, that would be me, Bob, and I'm always willing to sign it.
Yeah, I apologize. Was that Catherine? I can't
Yeah.
hear down that end of the table, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was Catherine, and she's our Board of Health representative on the committee.
Oh, good.
So what do we do?
Well, also, that is the main surface water for the lake, of which are getting nothing right now through that. You go up there, you can just stand there and you're not gonna hear any water going in or over that dam.
Can we ask the select board to instruct the highway department to do this maintenance?
We're tasked. Right?
Yeah, I've been trying to go,
Yeah.
I don't know when the next meeting, I went before one. And I was trying to go to the next one, I don't know exactly when the next board meeting is.
How about this? You know, I think these pictures, I was kind of surprised when I saw this. Yeah, and when we went up to fix the water level stack, and I think when people see this, you know, they're gonna see people in town like the select board, like the highway department, like the board of health. If I send this out to everybody, these pictures, maybe that'll help. Because it is dramatic. You look at it and it's like, oh, this is not, as Len said, this is not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's several very large beaver dams upstream.
Yeah,
And if we get a big rainfall, then one of those breaks and then you get a gush of water, I could see it going right to the top of the road.
or if the beaver dam gets higher and higher,
Yeah,
and so that space, that free cleared space gets
totally.
smaller and smaller.
yeah, and then one tree can easily block it.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the wing walls are piled stone. So when the ice starts hitting that, or gets in between it.
Except freezing and shifting those piles.
Yeah, it's done it on the other side.
So basically you're saying that the second the beavers start putting the dam up, you have to take it down so they don't get encouraged to
Well,
keep building.
You don't really, you're not really taking it down, you're just taking his supplied material away before he gets the chance to,
You
he
know,
hasn't put mud on it yet.
yeah,
It's burning branches and stuff,
yeah,
the water's going through it.
Right, it has to be sticks, it's not.
In fact, I use off the people in kayaks, if you're going through, let me know.
yeah,
You see that stuff, and but sometimes it's pretty bad.
yeah.
So we got that extension hook that Walter got from me.
I'm gonna make a motion that this committee, advise, do our advisory duty and advise the select board to, to direct the highway department or some other appropriate entity to remove this dam and to do ongoing maintenance to prevent it being repaired.
We have a second
Second, I,
discussion? Did everyone hear Catherine?
I apologize, Mark. Could you restate the motion?
Catherine, why don't you say it a little louder?
Okay, louder, can you hear me well now?
I can.
Okay, I am making a motion that our committee advise the select board to arrange for the removal of this beaver dam and ongoing maintenance, presumably by the highway department or by any other appropriate entity.
Thank you.
And we got a
And
second.
we have a second, so, and is there any discussion on it, or any more discussion?
Yeah, with your permission, Catherine and Mr. Chair, added that the proper permits would be applied for.
Good point.
Good point.
Well, let's, if there's no more discussion, let's have a vote. Catherine?
Yes,
Mark? Yes. Howard?
yes,
Len?
Yes.
John? Walter?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And Bob?
Aye.
And Art?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes. And that's kind of the end of our agenda. Well, is there any other items that we didn't anticipate should have been added to the agenda? I have one. A quick one. I just want to thank Len for his effort with the DCR fire prevention people, the firefighters. They did a nice job going around the lake. There's a nice presentation they did. I just still, we have links to it. They came by my house and they just, a couple of things that just I never thought about. They're very simple things that I can do to reduce the fires. On my kid's house across the street. We just simply, there's a sign on it, that the house numbering on it. And when you come right down Great Pines Drive, it's, you can see it's 30 Great Pines Drive. Or if you're coming up, Lake Drive, you can't tell, there's no numbers on that side of the house. And so just this little simple things like that can make a difference. And, so I want to thank Glenn for all his effort here.
Yeah, do you want me to try to get them to do it next year or do it every other year thing, do a class, try to do home assessments? Just-
I think it's worthwhile. It's a little, I
See
know,
how enthusiastic they are,
Yeah.
try to come out next year.
yeah, I think it's worthwhile.
Okay.
I know you're working on an emergency evacuation plan with the,
Yeah, with Nathan Morrow
okay. And that's all going along, okay?
what he says.
Okay.
So,
Good. That's all I have.
move to adjourn.
You move to adjourn, do we have a second?
Exactly.
All in favor, or Howard,
yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Len,
Yes.
John, Walter,
Yes.
Mark, yes. Eric,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Art.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys very much. We were a little longer than usual, but, we'll probably do an hour next time. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.